in that regard, for those of you who've been here before, you've seen this, but I just wanted to show you a quick example of what we would use as an input list. So for those of you who aren't using Excel spreadsheets or Google Docs or some kind of way to delineate just the process for everything, I just wanted to show you kind of an example of, you can't really see it great, but there's a few things I'll point out. So on the left-hand column is just the channel number of the console. So for us, that's 1 through 48 generally, but to blow up the document a little bit, you're not seeing all that. But so channel number, channel name, so you see kick 91, kick 52, snare top, snare bottom, all the way down. Whether it's a mic or a DI, and what that microphone is, what that DI is. So for example, we've got a Beta 91, a Beta 52, SM57s, radial DIs, various things throughout the list. So it's clear to whoever's in charge of putting the stage together what these elements are. Then if it requires a mic stand, if it's a short stand or a tall stand or a clip, and then whether or not it needs phantom power, that fourth column says 48 volts. And then the next to the last column is stage box. So you'll notice that it's color-coded. So for us, every microphone, every mic cable, every mic stand, and every input on our stage boxes is color-coded so that it makes for a very simple, very transferable way to get all of our stuff plugged in. So for example, our drums are all red. So I know that when I'm in a new environment with new stagehands or people who are unfamiliar with our setup, I can say, hey, all of these red stands, red mics, and red cables all go together and they all go to the drums. So anybody who can know their colors and read can, so most drummers couldn't patch our drums, but
I have done it one time. I did it one time by myself.
Yeah, Travis has done it by himself several times. Yep. No, but the idea is we're making it simple, right? So I've got a really funny story about this, actually. Some of you have heard this before. But if you'll notice, our input number 9, overhead stage right, is labeled OHSR, okay? So we're, last year we're on tour at a venue that, somewhere in the Midwest. And we had a person who was assigned to the audio team as a stagehand. She had never been on the crew before. Not that she hadn't worked with audio before, but she had never been a stagehand before, so she knew nothing, right? So I gave her the spiel about, here's our mics, and these are the red ones, and stands and cables. So she gets to OHSR, and she picks up the microphone. It's a Shure KSM32. She looks at the label, and she says, "Oh, senior." She looks at the stand, says, "Oh, senior." Puts the mic on the stand, picks up a cable, says, "Oh, senior," plugs it in. She didn't need to know what overhead was. She didn't need to know where stage right was. She didn't need to know that senior really should have been stage right. All she needed to know was how to match up the names and colors, and she could patch our stage. My 10-year-old can patch our entire stage because she knows her colors and knows how to read. So what a great way, when we're a little bit prepared on the front end, what a great way to engage young people in serving, right? If we could get our student ministry on board with, find that kid who's just all about gear and loves technology and wants to be a part, engage them in something simple like that. They don't need to know about EQ yet. They don't need to know about gain structure. Let's start talking about signal flow. Let's start talking about, simple things like patching the stage and doing it in a way that is transferable. A lot of times there's this sort of sandbox mentality that says, this is my area and you can't play. And a lot of that is based around this lack of open-handedness from the people who sit in my seat. And it doesn't have to be that way. And then there's this sort of resentment that comes that says, nobody ever helps, nobody ever helps, nobody ever. Well, it's because you haven't taught them how to help, right? Oh, senior. If you walk away with oh, senior this week, I'm thrilled. If you remember that story, because anybody can help patch the stage if you're prepared for them to do so.